So long.
Relics are...
I'm interested in objects that belong to the soldiers who perished in the battle 3 years ago. Not any old things. They have to be magically active. I know how to check.
That's not my speciality, Witcher. I deal in relics.
I found footprints at Sabrina's execution site. Do you know anything about that?
Why would I? You found them, not me.
Yet your boots are black from ash.
Shh. All right. What do you want to know?
Do you remember the sorceress Sabrina?
Same as all the others. Looked like a young nympho, but an old hag inside. You want to talk about her? See that freak who burns candles?
I know you have the spear Yahan used to pierce Sabrina's heart.
I told you about that, and I thought the old freak was trying to forget the sins of his past.
I need that spear.
Tough luck, Witcher. I last saw it a few years back.
What happened to it?
Look how similar we are. You want knowledge, I want coin, and we both need help to get what we want.
How much?
What are your customary takings on a contract? I'll gladly accept but 1/2 of that.
Tell me what you know and we'll part in peace.
You know the price. I can't go any lower.
You'll have to go a lot lower when it turns out your business isn't exactly crystal.
You've got nothing on me.
The camp's full of pretty simple soldier folk. I mean, I doubt they'll listen to reason when they learn one of the vendors has been chiseling them.
Bastard.
Right back at you. Now talk.
You see, when Yahan lost his head for Sabrina, I bought the spear from the innkeeper. The donkey's ass pawned it in the inn. He drank like a fish. By then, Yahan had already hidden in the hills where no one dares to venture. Some call him the Visionary, but in my book he's just a nutter. Beats me why the beasts don't attack him. A fisherman who supplies the canteen said that some monsters hate the smell of fish oil. Yahan makes candles out of it.
What did you do with the spear?
Sorry to say I lost it in a dice game. Shame, because today it'd fetch a good price. I lost the spear to a soldier who later fought the squirrels in the forests of the Pontar Valley. He told me he'd used it to kill some Scoia'tael big shot. I heard the shaft cracked as if there'd been some fucking jousting tournament. The most interesting thing is that big shot is still alive. I heard he's now with that vixen from Edirn. Some frigging commander. Elves are weird creatures. Who knows, maybe he still has that spearhead.
Yorvith.
You know him.
I'll tell you for 100 orens.
Bah!
It's time for real men.
I'm here about the Rotfiend contract.
What about it?
The fiends have rotted for good.
Well done, we lost many patrols to them. Here's your reward.
I fought the Nilfgaardians a few years back.
Well, well, a witcher. Girls, prim yourselves. How can I help you, handsome?
I'm looking for a whore.
We've got plenty of those, you'll be glad to hear. But you'll need to show me your coin before you choose one. We all have our principles. Well, these are my girls. Choose, white-haired one.
I've heard good things about Whistling Wendy.
At your service, my prettiest girl, 'tis true. Fool soldiers gave her that stupid nickname. Tidy yourself, Wendy. Witcher on the way. Come on in.
What do you desire, my hero?
I want your smile to part the gates of paradise.
Come with me.
Vincent Trott, you're a little elusive.
Here alone. Not wise, Witcher.
We'll see about that.
I'm wearing Selkirk's armor, you know. Pretty much renders me invincible in a duel.
Give me the chainmail and I'll forget everything. Whistling Wendy, your plot. I know about the coins.
You're Deathmole's hound. I don't trust you.
You don't need to. I just need the chainmail. Not interested in anything else.
I'm to remove it?
And hand it over.
Then you'll be on your way.
And all will be well.
Doesn't sound like my kind of story. How's this instead? I'll kill you, take your swords and gold, and the gods will rain good fortune upon me for ridding them of a filthy mutant. Die.
Somebody must have warned them. I need to look around.
I've got magnifying glass though. What the hell am I looking? E. Hensel courts the Imperial envoy like a cheap whore who has signalled out a Bergen with a full pouch at the brothel. Keep in mind that a whore can let anyone she wishes plough her arse, her choice. King owes us more. His arse belongs to all of us and his name is Kedwin. Dare we allow a Nilfgaardian prick to plough our country? As my friend who is a witcher says, if that's what the world needs to be saved, perhaps it'd be better if that perished. Thanks, Dandelion. Mate. You're nice. You're pissing me off.
Here to visit your old friends?
Just looking around. You?
A lengthy stay in Hensel's camp, and one is likely to become somewhat Kedwinized. I'd like to avoid that.
Rightly so. My memories and feelings seem inextricably linked. I seem to be recovering both. I believe Yennefer's alive, and I'll eventually find her.
Triss, Yennefer, that's some life you lead, my friend.
First off, we have no idea if Yennefer's still alive. Second, we have no idea if Triss is alive.
True. You seem to have two women, when in fact, you don't even have one.
Their kind doesn't die easily. I'll find Triss as soon as I've dealt with the assassin.
What about Yennefer?
I won't know what to do about her until I see her. Henselt's camp is abuzz with rumors about the events 3 years ago.
When you burn a sorceress at the stake, rumors spread faster than the seed of a lascivious baron.
I know you primarily value sorceresses for their firm busts, but I'm curious. What do you think of Sabrina Glevisic?
Sorceresses complain about feeling underappreciated, persecuted even. But let me tell you, Geralt, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If they didn't meddle, they wouldn't be burned at the stake. They keep whining about the horrors that took place on Dannet Island, about the order of the world being destroyed. But let me ask you, who brought that about if not them and their scheming?
Heard anything about Letho?
They say he's hiding in the ravines. He's not alone.
I know.
I fail to comprehend exactly why you have it in for him. He escaped, so what? You're no king, and as such are hardly in danger.
I'm tired of having to explain that I'm not the Kingslayer.
Hensel believed you.
But he's still not sure, and I don't want him doing me any favors.
Let's say you catch him. What then?
I'll decide once I've heard him out, learned the truth. Maybe I'll see his point, or maybe I'll just cut off his head. Have you tried to, approach Vess?
I've thought about it. On the one hand, I've never rogered a soldier, but on the other, the clean clang of steel against steel at an intimate moment could put off even the most attentive lover. Why do you ask?
I just like to know.
I heard you dueled each other.
You heard right?
You came out on top in the arena. Maybe you should try her in another setting.
Could be interesting, I guess.
Really? You slept with her?
Mm-hmm.
And how was she? Spill it!
Well, there was no clang of steel. I wonder what Sheila's doing in Henselt's camp.
You're not alone, because she's wondering what you're doing at the king's side.
How do you know?
She asked me about you.
What did she want to know?
I have no idea. I realized right off she was sniffing, and told her she could smell my fingers if she wanted. But that'd be all she'd get.
And she gave up.
Mm-hmm. See how careful I am?
I found a letter addressed to the people of Kedwin.
A letter? So?
It's your drivel, idiot.
Where'd you get that idea?
I know you. Not to mention you had the gall to quote me.
You're not the only witcher in the world.
So, you admit it's yours?
Sure, it's mine. People have had enough of that pompous clown colluding with Nilfgaard. I decided I needed to open their eyes a little wider.
Any idea what that pompous clown's going to do when he finds out who's opening his people's eyes?
How would he find out? It could only come from you, and I assume, at least I hope, you won't rat me out.
They're going to kill you.
Nah.
Why did you poke your nose in this?
Henselt approached me to write a few panegyrics about him. You know, singing his praises. Can you imagine that? Me? Writing a political pamphlet? Who the hell does he think I am?
But that's exactly what this letter is.
Possibly. But it's for a good cause. Henselt's a prick.
Can I talk to him?
You're all right. I've heard you've been helping our lads. Talk away, but be quick. If the corporal sees you, he'll have your balls. And ours.
Bloody vacuum. What do you want?
Information. You from Yorvith's unit?
I'm proud of it. Yorvith will avenge me.
Maybe. I'm responsible for you being captured.
I don't understand.
I warned Yorvith that the Kingslayer had betrayed him. Your leader's alive because of me.
You lie! You're not one of us.
Never claimed to be. I'm not interested in your fight, nor in that of the humans. I have my own goals. I'm hunting the Kingslayer and need information. Will you help me?
I'd rather not reveal anything to the Dwan. Do you know Elder Speech? De Thurmen en Rendan Hest. Ev de Sale emes up de Mevne Slet.
Sea here.
En Ted verletho ken en sterp dun verneuwert. Erte dreie ep Dwan. Seret en ox wat gern est. Denna Arthur nekwert. Visse egen. Erle egen. Ken hat mer. Denna dar emen dunv. Dak mammert.
Ken denne de arme hest.
Denna neerserla vid salla in esne geert. Veneer senden ert el.
Te arme. Ne segen hier. Ele seram.
Mekian behent het fen essert. Seret mer ura jasen het. Heb orks garthe seget en het rothen ken hest. Te ern moth diarm.
Rathain. Que diables Rathain verderel.
Versen het rothen deren henselt gerel vorte hen. Den diarme elestrea hen. Ne mer se herth.
Leke aan me denne tres.
En hert ep kianje esme geth verth. Se este en kien e diable ep ars kied. Ken jesse thith treas.
Mesem treachled. Lekele elethene hestgame.
Niame herth. Este verth ep kethen ken hest.
Quintes ken.
Den kean velt emer dor wat gern.
Vafel.
Quen erle wat gerne hennelinge kren.
Nemesecht.
Oxen en seret est elle kren. Vel merth Gwynblade keneth belk. Vedden emeth Gwynblade. Seet de step gatis en treth winnes. Vafel.
I found Trot and a few other enthusiasts of the square coins.
Did you learn who leads them?
No.
Any survivors?
No.
Ah, you might at least have spared Trot. I'm sure he had secrets.
Any reward for the conspirators?
Indeed. A nice round sum per head.
I could use the gold.
How many were there?
Vincent and 5 others.
You killed 6 men. You and your kind should be isolated.
The reward?
Is yours? Here.
I've got to get through the mist, or I can't lift the curse.
I shall supply the white flag when you set out as our emissary. The lass is reputedly honorable. She'll welcome you, invite you to a feast, and with a bit of luck you may even plow her.
You're sick, Death Mold.
They say she's very pretty. Peasant girls not to your liking?
Not your concern.
In case the elves lack an understanding of diplomatic symbolism, please also take this armor. With His Majesty's blessing, I might add.
A king's concern can be boundless when his life depends on that of another.
I spent some time working on this recently. This little marvel will guide you through the fog and provide a measure of protection from the specters.
Thanks. I need magic powder to mark out the runes.
Are you aware that the formula requires powdered camphor resin?
I am.
Then you must also know that the resin is extremely valuable.
Get Henselt to pay you. I need the powder to do the exorcism, reverse the prophecy, and release him from the curse.
You should have said, I'll give you as much as you need.
Thanks, on the king's behalf.
I've one more thing you might find useful.
What's that?
You asked me for protective runes. I've done better. Take this grimoire, which details many. I believe there's even one for syphilis. I've marked my recommendations.
Thanks.
Good to see you, you old rogue.
Why the long face, Sultan?
Everything's fucked.
The only sight worse than a sad dwarf is the sight of a very sad dwarf.
I don't suppose you have any vodka?
Might have.
Wonderful. Life without old mates and booze is like a woman without a rump.
If you need a change of climate, come with me. I'm on my way to Bergen.
You say that as if you're going to the brothel round the corner. Forgetting about the spectres?
I may have amnesia, but I remember the curse.
Well, all I get around here is non-human midget and the like. And I've dwarven brethren on that side. Sure as shit, I'll take Saskia over that prick Hensel too. You really willing to help me cross?
Of course.
You know, Geralt, I have a feeling that Vergen's where I should be.
I get you. Let's go.
How do you plan to get through the fog? Thought it was suicide to venture into it.
Death Mold gave me a protective amulet.
Throw it out! I wouldn't touch anything belonging to that dick.
I had a choice. Navigate the fog with an amulet or without it. Seemed safer with.
You're the expert in that magic shite, I guess?
Just trust me and stay close.
Oh, what the hell. Better the devil you know. I'll come with you.
Tough crossing ahead of us, Sultan.
Looking to scare me now? We're going. And that's that.
I see the path. The amulet is guiding us.
You sure? Never again. Fucking fog.
Look at it this way. You'll be able to brag about seeing the ghostly fog from the inside for the rest of your life.
I'd rather brag about how I plowed 3 wenches at once in my youth. Kill him! Adon! Stop! You're making a mistake!
A mistake? Interesting. There's a war on. Don't know if you've noticed. And wars are won by killing foes. Or do I have it all wrong?
The Witcher's a messenger. On his way to see Saskia.
Not your typical messenger.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but we had to pass through an atypical fog in which your typical messenger would have shit just before he...
Enough! We'll not let you inside Bergen. But you can deliver your message to the commander of the watch. He's stationed by the town gates.
Plowing typical elf. Come on, Geralt.
Why, it's Geralt of Rivia and Zoltan Chive. Pinch me, burden, for I believe I've dozed off while on duty.
Could be an illusion, eh? Or some spectres from the battlefield have lost their way. Maybe we ought to tickle them with an axe, just to be sure.
I'm afraid there's no mage out there who can conjure up the Witcher's mug, nor the aroma of Zoltan's beer-soaked beard.
Yarpin Zigrin. Lice eat me if I'm not delighted to see that horrid mug of yours.
This lad here's scaling burden. Geralt, what are you doing standing there as if you've swallowed a halberd? Got a hug for an old mate?
Greetings. Triss has told me a lot about you.
We Marigold? Ha! How is the lass? Let me tell you, Scaling, this here Witcher's the very embodiment of chivalry. All the Selkirks of the world can't hold a candle to him. And you know why?
No, but I got a feeling we're about to find out.
Me? A knight? I'd sooner call Zoltan a show dancer.
Well then, listen everyone. At the time, we were escorting Caedwene army convoys through the Sherwood forests. Aye, we served Henselt once, though all was for coin. Anyways, the Witcher was on the road as well, with Triss and Ciri, heading south. The lass, I tell you, was a demoness incarnate. Pure pepper on her feet, and healthy as a horse. But the sorceress fell ill. Some terrible pestilence held her, gave her the runs. That woman needed to go every 5 minutes. Never seen anything like it. And I've had my share of gut rumblings. This one time, I roasted an old ailing gerbil and...
Oi! You promised us a chivalrous tale.
And I'm delivering it, lad. In any case, the Witcher would carry her into the bushes time after time. He treated and cared for her, cleaned her, bathed her.
Sounds normal to me. A man looking after his woman. It's too much to call it chivalrous, Yarpin.
Ah, wrong. Triss weren't his woman. Not his wife nor lover. She was sick and in need of aid. And he was on a secret mission. Might have left her in some city, might have gone off on his own, but he didn't. Know why? Because he's got a heart of gold. He truly cares. A lad like you, Scaling, don't know that being a knight's not just about thrashing around in full plate, a long sword in hand. It's not just about fighting duels and winning tournaments.
Damn! I missed hearing your bullshit, Zigrin.
I don't believe anyone else has tried to tell me that story.
How is the wee Marigold, anyway?
Not great. The Kingslayer kidnapped her.
Oh, damn the dogs. That's downright terrible.
I suppose it's no coincidence you're here.
Triss could be somewhere in this area.
The plague. I've not seen her 5 years, must be. Since that day they proclaimed you dead. Last saw her in Rivia, in any case.
From what I've been able to establish, the Kingslayer forced her to teleport the two of them to this area, and she's not on the other side of the fog.
What did this Kingslayer look like?
A huge, bald witcher. Wears a medallion with a snake on it.
Sorry, Geralt. Doesn't even ring the tiniest bell, any of that.
I might know something. This drunk in Vergen claims he saw a redhead fall from the sky somewhere among the ravines. And then he said the sorceress Philippa Eilhart came around looking for this woman.
Shriveled old minx.
She sent her servant and some peasants to the ravines after her. But they came back empty-handed. Now Philippa's servant maid's gone, leaving the sorceress angry as a wasp. She even turned one of the plebs into a pig. I spoke to one of those peasants. He claims the lass was no servant, but an Nilfgaardian agent. And she apparently found something in those ravines. Maybe it was Triss. And maybe it was that Witcher. Madame Eilhart, or the old minx as Yarpin calls her. Knows she's been duped and can't forgive herself for it.
Did the woman flee south, deeper into Edirn?
Fucking hell! She came out the main gate not more than an hour ago, headed straight for the fog. Thought she might be out to do some magic probing or whatnot.
She knew a bit of magic. She might have crossed.
I guess I need to visit Shillard when I get back. How's Yorvith? Any chance I might run into him?
Minimal. He follows Saskia around like a once-neglected pup. Eyes on her at all times.
least the lass is well protected. What do you seek from Yorvith? Last I heard, you weren't exactly chummy.
You heard right. But when I last saw him in Flotsam, he had something I need to lift the curse.
Even if you see him, I doubt he'll give you anything out of the kindness of his heart. Perhaps Saskia can convince him?
Guess I don't have much of a choice. Any idea where I might find the Dun banner?
Try the Netherworld. The whole unit was cut down during the battle 3 years ago.
I meant the unit's standard, which symbolizes death.
Ah! That makes it a lot easier. We buried it with the remains of the Kedwenis.
Where?
Just outside Vergen. I'll mark it on your map, as the road could get confusing. Strange things are afoot in those crypts, Witcher. Kedweni ghosts scaring off our folk. That would be normal since they were invaders. But one's some kind of amateur historian, asking all that venture there about the battle and the Dun banner.
I'll look into it. Thanks. I have to see Saskia.
To what end?
To dispel the mist of wraiths, I need a few magic artifacts.
What's Saskia got to do with that?
Her sword is one of those items.
And what do you suggest I do? Yorvith and Saskia banned us from letting strangers in. And here are two old mates come over from the other side who want just that. A lose-lose situation if ever I've seen one.
That ought to be easy to get around.
Cow pies ought to be easy to get around, yet we don't always succeed.
I'm staying here, Yarpen. I want to join you, enlist. Will you have me in the Dwarven Brigade?
Will I have you, Chiefy? Will I plough and have you? Why, I'll make you fucking commander, you cocksucker! Problem solved. Scalen, you're my witness. Zoltan's no longer a stranger.
Aha.
All right. Now I'll introduce you to Saskia, and you can try to clarify the story with a sword for her. Or whatnot.
Don't you fret about the sword, Geralt. I promise to ascend to the fucking heights of oratory. Be soft as a mink, cautious as a novice strumpet. I'll get you that blade if I have to shave my beard off.
All right, then. See that, Scalen? We were headed for a tragedy.
Now we're headed for a comedy.
Ah, youth these days, lacking hope and heart. You know what Zoltan and I saw at Brenna, lad? To us, there's no such thing as the impossible.
It's nice to talk to you all, but we've got things to do.
Ah, that's life. Open the gate. I've got to fetch me a certain sword.
Wait a minute. If by some miracle you obtain that cursed blade, I'd advise you not to parade it out the main gate past the squirrels.
Got another solution?
There's another passage. I'll mark it in the Witcher's map and show you myself. Sound all right to you?
It does. In the meantime, I'll look around for that flag.
Prime, I'd say.
Off we go then.
Supposed to bring the sword.
I failed, Geralt.
That was not the best idea, Witcher. Dwarves are poor liars in general, and that's especially true of this one.
You know everything you need to know?
Yes. You need the weapon to lift the curse from Henselt and free the souls of the fallen.
But lady, I know you're at war with Henselt, but the curse threatens Vergen as well. It's a field of uncontrollable magic energy.
No need to exert yourself. I know this. The sword shall be yours.
Just like that?
Yes. I'm glad to help and thank you on behalf of the Vergenes, the souls of whose loved ones will finally be granted the peace they have so long deserved.
Milady.
I am no lady. My name is Saskia.
Saskia, I'll need some time to lift the curse, enough for you to fall back. The Scoia'tael and peasants can't hope to defeat a professional army in open battle. Withdraw deeper into Edirn.
You underestimate them.
Looking to be another Ellerin? Do you want them to die with your name on their lips? You know that's what'll happen if there's a fight. The fighters will die quick deaths, but then Henselt's men will enter the town. They'll spare no one. They'll kill the men, rape the women, turn the beautiful ones into slaves, and torture the rest to death.
I have seen conquered cities and know the risks. Why do you aid Henselt? Why do you risk your life to lift this curse?
It's not up to me to judge rulers, good or bad. If there's a curse, it needs to be dispelled. Not much room for politics or moral judgment.
Yes, I know. You're a hero. Folk tell stories about you in taverns, and troubadours describe your adventures in poems. But you've never known the whip. Your children have never lost hands for stealing apples. You know not how it is to serve at a heavily laden feast table while your family awaits famished at home. You fail to understand me, for you make no moral judgments. I have no such restrictions, and can thus warn you that Henselt is scum. Be cautious, take care of yourself and your friends, and I'll not heed your advice. We'll not flee, we'll not surrender.
Farewell, Saskia.
Farewell, Witcher, and know that I hope never to have to face you in battle.
You can be sure of that, Saskia. I only fight monsters.
See you, you old prick! Don't let them kidwinize you, and don't get killed.
That goes for you too, Zoltan. Farewell to you both.
Saskia, I forgot one wee thing. Geralt wishes to meet with Yorvith. He's got dealings with the elf.
I need the head of the spear used to finish off Sabrina as she uttered the curse. Yorvith had it when we ran into each other in Flotsam.
He lost it playing dice. Scalen now has the spearhead. The young Burden is a gambler, an addict, and perhaps Vergen's top sharp. You should speak to him.
Yorvith put that spearhead up as a bet?
When it comes to getting folk to sit down to a game of poker, Scalen can be convincing. His pack is bulging with treasures. You'd be surprised. All won at dice.
I won't need convincing. We'll see how he does against me. Farewell to you both. I heard you have the head of Yorvith's spear.
I do indeed.
I could use that spearhead.
Not a chance in hell. It's my trophy. Won it off the greatest killer among elves. In certain circles, that makes me a hero.
What were you playing?
Dice poker.
I've rolled a few dice in my time.
Do I hear a challenge?
Mm-hmm.
I trust you'll not ask me for a handicap. Though I must warn you, I aim to be merciless. Curse or no curse.
Let's begin.
Damn it! You win!
Scalen, my prize?
The sword of the warrior princess Zenthia. Good enough?
I'd say so.
It's yours. If you'd like to roll again, I'm always willing.
Who are you, and what do you seek?
Geralt of Rivia. I seek the standard of the Dun Banner. Who are you?
Eckhart Hennessy, ensign and color-bearer of the Dun Banner, the best force to issue from the land of Kedwen.
You may not remember me, but I remember you.
Where from?
I served in the Dun Banner.
Liar!
I fought beneath its standard at Brenna and at Vergen.
The Battle of Brenna. The Nordlings, shoulder to shoulder against the Black Ones. The Redanians, led by De Ruyter on the right, Natalis leading Temeria on the left. A splendid sight, was it not?
You're mistaken. The Redanian regiments were on the left. The Temerians took the center.
Correct. Perhaps you speak the truth.
Try me again.
Tell me, for this you must know. Who was chief commander of the Nilfgaardians at Brenna?
Menno Cohorn.
I'm beginning to believe you. Menno Cohorn. The repulsive head hound of the Nilfgaardian pack, but a great commander. He will again let the Nordlings' blood. Would you agree?
Your memory has suffered after death. Cohorn perished. At Brenna.
You are vigilant. I could not deceive you.
Because I am of the Dun Banner.
Perhaps you did fight at Brenna. It was so long ago I may have forgotten you. But Vergen is another matter.
I can't answer for the state of your memory.
You're right. Memory often fails us after death. I cringe to admit I've forgotten who commanded the armies during the Battle of Vergen. Perhaps the most important day of my life. And the last. Be so good as to remind me.
Seltkirk led Eddern. Vandergrift led us.
Well done. Not all know that. Some believe that the kings commanded the armies during the battle, or that their mages did.
Do you believe me yet?
Not yet, but I shall when you tell me how you survived the massacre at Vergen.
Reverend Crest led us out of the fire. He had a magic medallion that protected us from the flames.
Many survived?
Zivik's platoon.
Zivik, the regiment's best corporal. You have proven that you served in the Dun Banner.
May I take the standard?
Why do you desire it so?
It will help me lift a curse.
Curses are of no import to me.
This one should be. It has stopped King Henselt's army from advancing.
The unicorn has returned.
He stands at Vergen's gates. With your help, he'll avenge the Dun Banner.
The standard lies in the sarcophagus. Take it. You will also find the sword of Colonel Gondor. Now, it is yours.
Thank you.
Where have you left your mount?
There are no horses here.
True. I would gladly drink with a brother from Brenna, but I am an unfettered soul. Strong drink means nothing, tastes of nothing. Perhaps I miss that most in death. Guard the standard. I grasped it firmly even as they cut me down.
Good, you're here. The Nilfgaardians attacked us.
Any idea why?
They were loitering around here, staring into the fog as if waiting for something. I summoned Fen, Silas, and a few others, and told Vess to cover us from a distance while we went to talk to them. So I asked the black dogs courteously why they were gazing into the fog, as if the Emperor himself was about to emerge from it. No answer. But I can see the anger. Knitted brows, faces reddening. And they start growling to each other in that dog's tongue of theirs. A woman came out of the mist. Beautiful and barely alive. She dropped to the ground and a small object slipped from her hand. It was a jade figurine. No larger than a man's hand. If I didn't know it was impossible, I'd say it was Triss turned into a statuette.
It is possible. Artifact compression. Where's this woman?
I don't know. The girl growled at the soldiers and all hell broke loose. The Black Ones jumped us and she ran off towards the camp.
I need to follow her.
We're going with you. Fall in! We're too late.
Is the Percival ready to sail?
It is. But they will not let us go. Henselt has plans of his own.
I couldn't give a shit about Henselt. Shillard has Triss, and I need to save her.
It's not an option. They'll not let us sail until you lift the curse. And we've no chance of catching the Nilfgaardians on foot. If they wanted to kill her, she'd be dead already. Besides which, we know where they've gone. Loch Muin, Witcher. The monarchs and mages are to meet and decide the fate of the known world. You will find Triss there, I promise.
A sorceress like you must know bundles about paranormal phenomena.
Any mage's knowledge has little to do with superstitions.
The Wild Hunt's no superstition.
Indeed, the phenomenon exists.
I want to know everything about it, including what you know.
You're out of luck. I've never concerned myself with it. I'm also not interested in whirlwinds or hailstorms.
I have proof suggesting that the Wild Hunt is a vast accumulation of the power. Strange that mages aren't interested.
To the mere mortal, anything that is not immediately comprehensible is suspect. The product of a conspiracy. And where there's a conspiracy, well, it's obvious mages must have hatched it.
I'm a mortal, though probably not a mere one. I found the notes of a man who spent his entire life.
Try the apothecary. Paranormal phenomena apparently interest him. Perhaps he'll satisfy your thirst.
I don't know why you don't want to help me, but I just might find out. It's pretty obvious you and Deathmold don't exactly get along.
Deathmold is an overgrown baby. A fine match for King Henselt. The problem is that he's as jealous as he is childish. He claims I wish to steal his position at the Kedweni court. Nothing could be more absurd.
At last. Have you got Sabrina's spear?
Not only that, I've got all 3 artifacts.
You won't regret it. Let's do some magic.
She died here.
And pissed and shat as she did.
Evil place. You can feel it in the air. Those candles don't help any either.
They've gone mad. Someone said the bitch died a martyr and now the common folk burn candles for her.
I have to observe this place from a distance.
During the execution, I was on that hill. I'll show you.
Flat area. That's good.
Are you concerned for your feet?
Your Majesty, you need to draw runic protective signs around the stake.
Magic signs are the domain of witches, not kings. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's important that you draw the circle yourself, Your Majesty.
Important for whom?
It was your death Sabrina foretold, so who do you think?
All right. Tell me what we do.
To lift the curse, we have to reenact the events from 3 years ago.
How do you wish to do that if half of those involved lie rotten with the worms?
It's about the energy of that time. The energy of the woman who cast the curse, combined with the energy of its victim. When you get the runic signs right, Sabrina's ghost will appear.
Bring the bitch to life. It'll be a pleasure to put my spear in her.
Remember to stab her in exactly the same spot as that soldier did, but earlier this time, before the sorceress completes the curse.
I look for the hole. But how am I to know when?
When you realize that the curse concerns you. But be ready, she may use a different name.
Is that all?
For you. Then I take over. Specters might appear during the exorcism.
Might or will?
It depends on Sabrina's aura in the spirit world.
I'll wager ghosts loathe the cunt. Let's get it over with. Tell me what I am to draw.
You have to go down there, Your Majesty.
What about you?
I'll guide you. I have a good view from up here. Go towards the pixie ring, Your Majesty. Sire, form a large, even circle at a good distance from the pyre.
It's turned out beautifully. Pity the wind will soon scatter it.
The evil power of the curse came from the fire. Fire's a hard element to tame, and this one had added potency. It consumed the body of the one casting the curse.
Enough of these phantasmagorias, as Deathmold puts it. Look at my boots.
Stay in the circle, Your Majesty.
The powder reeks of dwarven dung.
It's begun. You have some brave soldiers, Your Majesty.
They're scared of ghosts, as we all are. Curses, there's hundreds of them!
Calm down, Your Majesty. We're protected by the magic runes. The ghosts won't get past the barrier.
I'm not afraid of people, but those plowing creatures have begun to bother me.
You're safe if you stay within the runes.
What should I do?
When the sorceress calls your name, you have to show mercy and end her suffering with the spear. You've broken the circle. Specters could get through.
What shall we do?
I'll take care of them. You finish the exorcism, Your Majesty. Die.
Curse you, Henselt! Thou art fire of devouring air, by the charred bones of the innocent...
Now, Your Majesty!
It worked.
Are you sure?
All I can say for sure is that a dwarf can pass between a troll's legs, even on tiptoe. But I think it went well.
Good. For me and for you. But all the worse for Edern.
You owe your freedom from the curse to Saskia's generosity. You should send a delegation to thank her, Your Majesty.
I'll thank her in person once you disperse the fog of specters from the battlefield.
That'll be much harder.
I have faith in you, and faith can move mountains.
Funny you say that. I need an artifact symbolizing faith.
Yes, Deathmole told me. I'll give you the medallion. First, I must have a drink. Come to my tent. I'll roll out my best wine. You deserve it.